Alright, so the very first thing that I would do is sort my music into smart playlists. Now, fortunately, I actually did this really early in my DJ career. Got the tip from, I think, another YouTube channel, Alaskans or Digital DJ Tips or something like that. Because your music library is going to be smallest today, and it's just going to get it's going to get larger and larger, faster and faster the longer that you DJ. And you'd rather fix this problem now than fix it in 3 years' time. Because your music library might be like 5,000 songs now if you're just starting out. It might be fucking 100,000 in like 2 years' time. You want to do this early. So iTunes or Record Blocks or whatever you're sorting your playlists, your music in, should be able to make smart playlists. Now, what will happen is you'll have all your songs. You'll want to make sure that the genre is tagged correctly. And then here's a little tip. Give the rating. You can give songs ratings on a scale of 1 to 5. Make the rating the intensity. So like 5 stars is like peak time, 3 stars is like kind of opening, and 1 stars is like all your slow songs and chill songs and stuff like that. Because what you can do is you can create smart playlists with rules. So if genre equals drum and bass, and if rating is 5 stars, drum and bass, put in drum and bass banger playlist, right? Rather than in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time, you've got to manually drag and drop all of these songs. You can just get smart playlists. It will save you so much time. Fortunately, I did it early in my career when I only had a couple thousand songs. But I know some of you are probably watching this now and you've got really, really large libraries and you're going, oh, this is going to take me ages. It's probably going to take you literally all weekend. But better do it now than later. So that's the first thing that I would do. Now, to get gigs, this assumes that I don't have any connections, I don't have any gigs, starting from absolute scratch, right? So the first thing that I do is make a list of every event and club that I want to play at just in a Google sheet. And so in column 1, you'd have like a list of all of the names. Column 2, you'd have like their Instagram and their Facebook profile. And then maybe in the third column, you just tick whether or not you followed them, right? And so you just want to go through and just follow all those accounts from your DJ account, right? Now, here's a tip. They're probably not going to follow you back, but that doesn't matter. We don't actually care about those events following us back or engaging with us. We actually are only using them as a hit list to figure out who runs those events. So if you don't have any connections, you don't know who runs what event, you don't know who's doing the bookings, you don't want to send your mixtape to just the page event with like the 5 or dozens of other mixtapes they get, on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis. You want to go direct to the person actually controlling the event. So what you do is you go through their Instagram accounts and you find out who's running the event. Now, a couple ways you can do that. You go through the other profiles that Instagram account follows. So if you see it only follows like a dozen other people, it's probably the dozen people that run the event, right? Other thing you can do is turn on notifications for when they post. The first couple people that like it and comment are probably either promoters or like in the team, like they're involved in the event somehow. Because firstly, once a post goes up, that post usually gets put into a group, or if they're good promoters, that post gets put into a group chat. Everyone gets told to go like it, and then the first couple of people that like it and comment it and say, oh yeah, super hype, they're all on the team. So those are the people running the event, right? You can also go through who's tagged in their stories as well. So that's how you can work out, usually the DJs are getting tagged in the story. So we're just using the, the event or the club's page to figure out who's connected to it, things like that, right? Now, once you've followed all those people, not just the club events, but also just like the promoters and things like that, eventually you'll start working out who's who, because you'll see the network, the web will start growing. You'll start seeing who's tagging each other in each other's personal stories and stuff like that. Just occasionally react or reply to their stories. Nothing big, nothing forceful, just be a fucking heart react. All we want to do is for the notification to pop up that you exist, and then your name just pops up a couple more times. We're not going like full force DMing them from the get-go. It's just like, I exist in your internet ecosystem, right? Your name pops up a couple times, and then when your name gets mentioned in a couple of weeks or a couple of months' time, or hopefully a couple of weeks' time, hopefully not a couple of months' time, they go, oh yeah, I have been seeing that guy's stuff, and I have checked out his profile, his stuff looks good. Because all the notification is just a prompt, so they go, oh, who's this? And then check out your profile. Maybe they follow you, maybe they don't, but now at least they know you exist. It's why, if you're a guy anyway, you probably get all these fucking bots of women that obviously aren't real that like all of your stories, and then you see the profile picture and you go, oh, hot girl, and then you check out their profile and obviously they're like an OnlyFans link or something like that, right? It's just a traffic source. That notification is just a traffic source. Cool. The fifth thing that I would do is challenge myself to post a reel or a TikTok every day for 30 days. Barely even matters what it's about. I got asked this question on a panel. I might clip in the clip here somewhere, maybe. But basically what I talk about is at the start, it's really, when you're just posting content, it's just about quantity. You don't want to like put all your effort into like one piece of content that you like plan for days and weeks and you execute it. And then you post it and you just hear crickets, right? Because all you've done, your sample size of data for content that can work for you, it's just one, right? So what we want to do is we want to post as much as we possibly can. So we go, just literally just. I've got to include this story. My friend Quincy, who DJs and produces drum and bass as Don Darko, some of you probably would have seen his viral TikToks already. Me and him were trying to work out TikTok at the same time, like a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years ago now. And I worked it out first and then just deleted TikTok. And then he eventually like had one that hit like 10K or 20K views. And I was like, oh yeah, sweet, you worked it out. And I'm like, cool, now you're just going to do one every day. Like, how long does it take you to make one? He goes, oh, like a week, because I've got to make the song and then I'm going to film it, then I'm going to edit it and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, why are you making the whole song? You literally post like 15 seconds of the song. Just make the 15 seconds, and then if one blows up, then you can just remake the other. You can just finish the song. He goes, oh, true. And then he was posting nearly every day, and that's when he really, really blew up. So volume at the start to work out what works. Post as many times as you can, and then every single time you'll see how one compares to another, and then how one compares against the other 50, and you can figure out what works way faster, right? So we need to increase the sample size of data we have, because until you've posted like 50 times, your first 50 posts are going to suck. So you might as well just get them out of the way really, really quickly. So when I was first trying to get into TikTok, I just didn't want to do it. And so I just challenged myself to post like 5 times a day, every day for 30 days. And I hit like 10,000 followers in like 3 weeks. And it was just because I just learned way faster from posting more. So challenge yourself to post a reel or a TikTok every day for 30 days. Now, if you don't have any ideas, just do your own version or just a remix of what's already working. So go find trending like reels that already have like millions of views in your space and just try to remake them if you can. Now, obviously some of them are going to be playing to crowds, and if you're not playing to crowds yet, you're not going to be able to do that yet. But if you see any of the stuff where people are doing like mashups, or as long as it's like within brand for you, just find content that you would do that is already working and then just do a version of that, right? All we're trying to do here is just get more volume in and just post more. That's literally all we're trying to do. Sixth step that I would do is make friends with the DJs at the clubs you want to play at and just offer to tag along and get their drinks or give them a lift. So if you've done step 3 and 4 correctly, you should have made friends with, or at least be chatting with a couple of the DJs at playing places. Now just be upfront with them and say, hey, I'm absolutely new here. I'd really like to check out your set. Do you mind if I tag along? I can give you a lift to and from your gig. I can run your drinks for you. I just want to be able to shadow you and just like learn from you. I'm not trying to steal your gig. I'm not trying to like plug my USB in when you go to the toilet or anything like that. I just really want to learn from you. If you're open to that, I'd love to tag along. Just be super upfront with them. Just ask to shadow them. And by the way, it's super important that you don't become that guy that just like gets excited and like go, oh man, can I just like mix in one song? Like, don't be that guy. I literally had a problem with, I used to run a DJ school, and we had this one problem student who would always rock up to the instructor's gigs and just ask to like play a 10-minute set, which is disrespectful because firstly that DJ, like the instructors that actually had the gig, had worked hard to get that gig. Secondly, it's disrespectful to the venue because the venue doesn't trust you. You don't know the music pulse. You might burn the dance floor, and then the club suffers, and the bar sales dip. And there's so many things that could go wrong. So just stand back. Don't be all up on their shit. Just hang back and just watch and listen. What I would actually do when I was shadowing, the person who's like, he eventually went away, like left this club's gig, and then I ended up replacing him. What I was doing was just taking notes of like what he was playing at each kind of like every 10, 15 minutes just to kind of get a vibe. Because eventually you'll probably get a gig there. Or if not, you'll meet someone at another similar gig, right? So don't be that guy that just like tries to hijack the set. The 7th thing that I would do is when you go with them, make an effort to meet and chat with all the same people that they do. Because The DJ is going to be friends with the other DJs, who's going to be friends with the photographers, who's obviously going to talk to the person that runs the night. And you want to be talking to all these people so that you're just in this ecosystem very organically. You're not a stranger, you've got the referral and the social proof of coming with the other DJ, and then you want to have a nice friendly chat with those people. You're not giving them your fucking mixtape. Just say, oh, hey man, yeah, really nice to meet you. Do you have Instagram? Just like chuck their Instagram in and then just like message them the next day and get a conversation going. Now, if you do all 7 of these things, it's pretty fucking difficult for you to not get a gig relatively quickly because now we have an online, we have basically 2 channels here. We have an organic online traffic source that just lets people know that you exist, gets you views, gets you like, gets you engagement, and we have a very organic channel, which is the people that you made friends with here are now inviting you to their gigs, and you're meeting the other people and other decision makers like in real life, right? And so eventually sometimes they'll reach out to you to see if you want to play a gig, but you can also just message them and be like, hey, really, like, after you've been chatting for a bit, hey, I know you've probably got like a stacked roster for the next couple of weeks because everyone wants to play your event, totally understand. If there is ever an opportunity for me to play an opening set or something like that, I'd absolutely love to take the opportunity. Let me know what I can send to you to help with your decision-making process. I don't want to be too pushy or salesy or anything like that. I just love to play the gig. Super polite, not pushy, you're not dumping a fucking press kit on there or some shit like that they're never going to watch. It's just like, hey, let me know what I can send. They're probably just going to ask for a mixtape or a track list or something like that. And I'd love to do the opening set if there's ever an opportunity. Cool. So that's what I'll do. 7 steps if I didn't know anyone, didn't have any connections, was with absolutely fresh DJ in 2024. If that was useful, subscribe. And if you have any clarifying questions, chuck them in the comments or just like message me on Instagram. I actually reply to all my messages. I'm building a secret little school community. So DM me about that and I'll send you an invite to it because it's free. But you had to message me on Instagram for it. So it'll do.